Hi guys, thought I would do a bit of a real video of how things are going. Tomorrow is the egg collection day, so it means I have to go into like a little general anaesthetic, which I've never had before, for them to take the eggs out, sort of suck it out through the vaginal wall, and then they put them in a lab and see how many are viable, as in the ones that have got eggs in, and they freeze some of them and get one of them and put it with the sperm, which John has to do a sample tomorrow as well while we're there. And obviously then it gets put back in me and you have to wait 2 weeks or whatever. So I had my last injections last night, which is kind of ironic because today I felt, well, the last couple of days I felt quite mardy. I could feel it. And I said to John, I think I'm being quite mardy the last 2 days. And he's like, yes, you have. And I can feel it. I think I'm just fed up more actually than the actual hormones. And I had the ovulating drug last night, and I think that's maybe more uncomfortable and bloated than all the other injections I've been having for the last several weeks. It's not helping. I feel really hot, like my face feels flushed, but if you touch like my arm and stuff, that feels fine. So I'm in my pyjamas, hence the bunny rabbit top, to feel more comfortable, because as I said, my stomach feels bloated and a bit like uncomfortable, and that pain, if I'm in pain or uncomfortable, that can make me really mardy as well, so that's not helping. And I just woke up this morning properly stressed, and not so much about the actual operation thing tomorrow, but everything else. Like, I was convinced that I'd taken the injections last night at the wrong time, even though I followed the nurse's instructions. She phoned me and I followed them. I was worried that I'd taken them at the wrong time, and that I wasn't going, you know, I didn't know whether I was supposed to be taking what I was supposed to be taking tomorrow to the hospital, well, to the fertility clinic. It's not a hospital. And yeah, and just stressing about everything. So I've checked everything about 1 billion times to make sure I've got it all right. And yeah, I basically just want these eggs out now and to feel more normal, because the thing is as well with it is you don't actually know if there's a point to any of this, because you're doing it, and obviously if you're pregnant and you've got hormones going on over the place and you're feeling a bit fat and bloated, it's like, that's fine, because you've got a baby and you're growing a baby and you're gonna have a baby at the end of it. But I don't know any of this. Like, I'm not pregnant obviously now because I'm going through the IVF, so I could be doing all this and putting my body through all this for absolutely no reason whatsoever, and it kind of is a little bit stressful. And yeah, I guess I'm just feeling anxiety ridden, so therefore it's making me feel a bit down as well. So I just really wanted to come on here and do a video that was a bit real, and to show you that it's not all like fun and games, and I'm actually really looking forward to tomorrow to get these eggs out. But I think it's because so many people as well putting so much effort into trying to get me and John pregnant. Like, yes, it's my body, and my body's being pinned and poked and prodded and things shoved up it and into it and God knows what else. But also all the people who have worked, gone to university, worked so hard and have so much experience and knowledge are also trying to get me pregnant as well. And you just feel like there's so much pinning on it. Everyone's sort of hopes and everyone's hard work and everything are pinning on sort of this moment. Is like the pivotal moment where they find out if I've basically just pinned and prodded and poked myself for no reason over the last few weeks. And I think that's the thing as well. I'm sick of being poked and prodded. Like, I had a scan, last scan was the other Monday, and I had a blood test as well. Then I had a scan on the Friday and had a blood test then as well. And then I had a scan a couple of days before that and another blood test. Plus I've been giving myself 2 injections every single day. This is the first day in like a month where I haven't given myself any injection whatsoever. Morning guys, it is Wednesday the 8th of May, and this morning's my egg collection. The video I did last night I got cut off because my sister video called me and I was having a rant about I don't feel that great, I'm such a mardy ass and all this kind of thing. So I had a bit of a vent with her. So it's at 8:30 this morning. I don't feel that nervous, to be honest. I just kind of want to get it over and done with now. I'm like that though with things that aren't that pleasant that are happening. I just either want it to go away or just to get it over and done with as soon as possible. So that's where I am right now. I can't wear any makeup. Honestly, the lack of mascara is killing me. I'm going to be seen in public by this. You can guarantee I will be wearing no makeup, as in no mascara. I don't care about the rest of my makeup. I just never go out my bedroom, basically, other than to the shower, without mascara on. I know I'm going to end up seeing somebody that I know, or, I don't know, Henry Cavill will walk past or something, because, you know, that happens in real life. and it'll be because I've got no mascara on. Also, not allowed to eat anything since like midnight last night, which is fine because I'm not really a breakfast person, and I had to take 2 paracetamol at 6:30 because my operation-y thing is at 8:30, so I've done that. I've got to wear baggy clothing, so again I'm going out in public other than doing exercise and jogging bottoms. It's not cool because I don't really have any baggy bottoms. Like I've got quite a few baggy t-shirts because I've always hate my stomach, so I always wear baggy tops, but I don't really have any baggy bottoms. So the baggiest ones I've got, don't know if they're good enough. What else has I've had to do? Oh, I've taken no hay fever tablet because I'm not sure if I'm supposed to or not. So I've not taken that and left it just in case because I don't want it all to be ruined because I took a hay fever tablet. So I could be all snotty and horrible. So that could be really fun for them as well. Just me snotting while I'm like out for the count or whatever. But yeah, I think that's it. As I said, don't feel too bad. I will see you on the flip side. Thought I'd jump on and just update you on everything that's been happening. Because when I last talked to you, I was about to go to the clinic for the egg collection. So now it is over 48 hours since that happened. And I have to admit, and there's a woman at work who got it right, my manager at work, who got it right in description. She's not had this, but had the specific one, but she had something else done. And she said that afterwards, the general anaesthetic, you feel kind of violated. And I kind of feel like that. I'm trying not to think about it too much because of previous things that happened when I was younger. So I'm trying to like block out these kind of thoughts because these kind of thoughts of violation stuff can kind of spiral. But the actual general anaesthetic itself, I've never had one before, was fine. Some people I know were saying, oh, they got tingling up their arms and pins and needles and stuff, but I didn't feel any of that. I didn't feel like so much I was asleep. I felt like my brain was running 90 miles an hour all the way through. You know, like if you've got anxiety and stuff, you'll get it more where you're asleep, but then you feel like you're not asleep because your mind just doesn't shut up and keeps rattling on. It felt like that when I woke up. And my first thought when I woke up and my eyes, that they felt really heavy, was like, why is this person making noise? I was just aware someone was making noise. I was like, why is this person making noise? I'm trying to sleep. But I felt really, really sick, especially on the way home. I thought I was going to throw up. The car journey just seems to take forever. I felt so ill, but luckily I managed to keep everything in my stomach, or whatever was in my stomach. And I did feel nauseous every time I ate the rest of the day, and very tired and just vague. Like my eyes felt really heavy and big, and yeah, I slept a lot. And then the next day, the nausea had gone, so I was eating again as normal. But I still had it was still quite uncomfortable. And the day of the actual egg collection, they put like some painkillers up your bum. They have to ask you first. But I thought, oh, I'm not going to know about it because you're still like under anaesthetic. So I was like, since I've been violated at the front, may as well be violated at the back as well. So they did that, and that probably, they said it, you know, it helps quite a lot. And then you can take paracetamol after every 4 hours because it's almost like a pregnancy, as in you can't take ibuprofen when you're pregnant and things. You can't do that in IVF either. You have to just take paracetamol. But to be honest, it was uncomfortable. It wasn't horrendous. I could have probably have coped without painkillers. It just, I kept getting a sharp pain like right near the front, and then like stomach like cramps, like in period pains, where you normally get period pains, and that pain at the back and stuff. So it was more uncomfortable and annoying. And when I feel uncomfortable and get in a bit of pain, I do get a bit cranky, so I thought it's better with painkillers. But I was back at work today, so it was Wednesday I had it, now is Friday. Yeah, Friday. And I've had a bit of uncomfortableness. I only do 4 hours at work, but I am on my feet the entire 4 hours because I work in retail. So I felt bits of uncomfortableness and stuff, and pain, not major pain, but it was a bit like at times at work. And then I walked Molly earlier, and she was pulling on a lead and stuff, and I was just, and that was hurting a bit. And yeah, so I think it's mostly okay, but I think I just need to rest a bit. But the bloating's quite bad. The first 2 days it was really bloated. Now it's gone down a bit, but I'm still struggling. My jeans that are normally quite loose are really tight, so I keep wearing, don't know if you're going to be able to see, these are my nightwear bottoms, but I've got my normal top and bra on or whatever, because they're bigger size, because I like them baggy for sleeping and it's more comfortable. And then just so the elastic's so much looser than my jeans, where it's all like stiff material, and it's just feels really restrictive. It's just cutting into my stomach. So I'm hoping the bloating will go down, but they did say that these tablets that I'm now on, these things, pessaries that I have to put up there, can cause bloating as well. So I might just be a bloated mess for the foreseeable future. We will see. on the same day as the egg collection, John had to do a sample as well. So they were really quick with telling us the results of the egg collection and the sperm sample as well. So they told us that they managed to collect, once they'd woken up, fully woken up, they managed to collect 20 eggs in total, and they like to aim for 16, so 20 is good. And John's sperm was fine, like it's supposed to have something like a 42% mobility at least, and his was like 50 something or something like that anyway. So that was fine. And then the next day they phoned me and told me what they managed to do in the lab. So it was in the morning, so obviously they checked that, you know, I wasn't in too much pain and, you know, and all that kind of thing, and I was fine. And had normal symptoms of having been on general anaesthetic or whatever, rather than anything major. And they told me that out of the 20 eggs that had been collected, 17 of them were mature, which is good again, it's the majority of them, and 10 of them they'd managed to fertilise in the lab, which is obviously really good as well. So now they need to monitor them to make them get to the blastocyst stage, which is the stage you need to be at for putting them back in me. So on Sunday they'll be phoning me again to say whether any of them, or how many of them, have managed to get to that stage. And then on Monday is when everything will be put back for me, and then we've got 2 weeks of waiting to see, you know, if the IVF has been successful. I mean, obviously that means we've got 10 chances of the eggs getting to that stage. Obviously the more that get to that stage the better, because the ones that they don't use on Monday, because they only insert one back in each time, for me it's different for other people. Some people have two. It just depends on, you know, various factors and stuff, and what the doctor decides is best for you. Because this is our first round and everything else, all our test results and everything else, they've decided to do just one, which means that obviously I want to have some frozen, because you only get one egg collection on the NHS, and then you can have 3 actual IVF treatments, like the this stage of them. So that means the other ones would be frozen for, say, future IVF. Say for instance this one's successful, in 2-3 years or whatever, me and John might decide we want the child and we have to do this all over again. It would mean that the eggs are already in storage, basically. Or it might be that this IVF fails and we want to try again and do, you know, another cycle, which means the egg's there for us to use for that as well. So fingers crossed, because nothing's ever certain. Whatever it says on paper and however it looks isn't, we know necessarily how it turns out. So I'm trying not to think too much about it, and we'll just see what they say on Sunday, and just have got everything crossed that it's okay, and that some of them managed to get to the final blastocyst stage, and then we managed to have, you know, it to be put back in on Monday, and then the very nervous 2 weeks will commence. These are called pessaries. I'll actually open so you can see what they are. But basically they go up into your vagina twice a day, and they told me to start doing it 48 hours after the egg collection, and you have to lie down for half an hour as well, and they have to be taken at the same time, at least 12 hours apart. So I've been taking them, this is the first day I've done it, so I started taking them at 6:30 in the morning and then 6:30 at night, because I work early, but that means that even on weekends I've got to get up at like 6:30 to do this. But they're like small, I don't know whether you can really see because they look really massive, but as you can see against my hand, they're not very big. And obviously they're just inserted up there and then they dissolve. They're not painful, and this, to be honest, is the easiest. It's a faff because you have to lie down, but it's the easiest thing to actually do, and not painful. Like with the injections and stuff, it can be a bit painful, and even the second injection was quite a lot of a faff. But this is, yeah, by far the faffiest. And also, you have to keep this going for, well, it depends. So for at least 2.5 weeks to when you potentially have a period. So we're going to Paris in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to have to organise putting these up. Because obviously it is a faff, because you need to be lying down. You can't be just like go to a toilet and shove it up there and be like, oh, job done or whatever. No, you've got to be lying down. So I'm going to have to like work that out. So that could be interesting. So watch that space for how that goes. But yeah, it's probably the least painful and the least worst one to actually do so far. I've got to lie down for half an hour after I've done these. What are they? Pessaries. There. So John's keeping me company. He's threatening to sing to me. What was it you singing? Warm kitty. What was it? Soft kitty.
Kitty warm,
Kitty, little ball of fur.
Happy
Kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr. If you watch Big Bang Theory, then you'll know where that's from. Yeah, so this can be the longest half hour ever. I was doing it this morning and I was just lying here trying not to fall asleep at 6:30 to 7 o'clock this morning. I'm surprised I made it to work. You're not doing it anymore?
No, I can't sing.
Neither can I. Oh?
They all ran up to the farmer's wife who cut off the tail with a carving knife. 3 blind mice. 3 blind mice.
They don't warn you about this in fertility treatment that you're going to have to listen to your husband keeping you company for half an hour singing bloody nursery rhymes.
Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men. Oh, sugar, I've forgotten Humpty Dumpty.
Couldn't
Put Humpty together again.
You were doing all this to have a kid. You need to get your nursery rhyme sorted.
Yeah, my nursery rhyme game ain't strong.
Though I think if I start singing to the child, I think it'll just start crying because the sound of the black. Oh my God! Stop! Stop! What? It's true. See, I was lucky because my mum could sing, so when she sung to us, it was okay.
Yeah.
Not that I really remember her singing to us.
Didn't she?
I don't. She must have, but I don't remember.
I don't think my parents sang. They read, didn't she?
Yeah, I remember mum reading to me, but that was when we were a bit older. She must have sung there. She was always singing along to things, doing her opera voice that she only could do for a bit because, lungs and stuff.
While shepherds watch their flock by night, all
Is
sleeping
this a
on
Christmas
a
song?
plank.
Plank.
An angel came down to them and taught them how to... We'll cut the video there.
Oh my God! Why? This is not appropriate.
It's an old man from Kentucky. No? Okay.
I'm going to stop the video there.
Okay, you do that.
It needs parental advisory already.